and Cal BRE 01869452 and 1866775.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We're a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. Before we get into our intriguing content today, let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. This Mike does not seem to like me today. I am the consumer advocate looking out for you, and you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Just remember that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls. I'm broadcasting.
Well, I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan, a plan to save you money. I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, of course, we are celebrating today. Now, I saw that today was National Baby Ruth Day, and obviously, in my mind, that would just go right to the candy bar. But I guess it's called Babe Ruth Day, so it wasn't Baby Ruth Day. So I guess I can't go to the candy bar on this one. But today is National Babe Ruth Day. Okay, let's take a look at what else we can celebrate today, being that it's not Baby Ruth Day. Devil Dog Day. Okay, I like that one. That's a great day of celebration, so we appreciate Devil Dog Day. Although when I saw this one, I thought Marines, but it's actually a snack cake. So I like that one. Members dubbed the nickname Devilish Snack Cake. Layer of cream filling sandwich between two layers of Devil's Food Cake. Yeah, I like that one. And one that was for a simple guy like me, today's National Prime Rib Day. Okay, so I can go with any of those. We are on track today. Let's take a look and see what are the markets doing today. They're pretty flat. The Dow Jones down 13, S&P 500 up 1, NASDAQ down 18. Oil prices up 81 cents a barrel. Do you want to know about what that's doing to you and to me? Because policy, that is the issue. I know they don't like to hear that on some of our fake book channels. No, by the way, Washington Post is shutting down its fact-checking unit on the president. Does that surprise anybody? That they don't want to know about what... Surprise! Wonder why they didn't do that during the Trump administration. I digress, but let's take a look at what oil prices are doing. Let's check it out. Gasoline right now, $2.56.9 a gallon. Not in Calizuela, that would be Mississippi. $3.76.7 a gallon. Not in Calizuela, that would be Hawaii. $4 a gallon. Average $3.99.6, $4 a gallon. Calizuela, average price of a gallon of gasoline, $2.88.5 is the national average. 1 year ago, $1.77. $1.77. Policy, that's what does it to you. So we've got these policies going on, and they're just we're starting to feel the pain of how the policies work. And speaking of feel the pain, how about Calizuela now losing Senate or House of Representative members? First time ever, Calizuela losing a representative seat because people are leaving the formerly Golden State. Yeah, so, and I share this with you all the time. I think this site is called, I'm trying to find it here, that's why I get it wrong, howmoneywalks.com. We've been following this site for a long time. We share information from the site for you for a long time. How Money Walks. Well, it's a matter just of us looking and seeing how much money is actually leaving the state of Calizuela, right? Because why does money leave Calizuela? Well, it's the taxes. It's all about the taxes. People don't like the idea of paying such high taxes. And they have the opportunity not to pay the high taxes. How do you do that? You leave the state of Calizuela, right? So How Money Walks is the site that we use on a regular basis to see what's going on with our money, where it's going to. And we know that it's leaving the Calizuela. We've talked about this before, $70 billion every year on average leaving the state. 73.52 is the number because of the high taxes. But yesterday we did see that Governor Newsom is going to face recall. And I saw the very first ad that he comes out with. You gotta love Newsom, right? I mean, he comes out with the very first ad with pictures of the activities in Washington, D.C. from January 6th. People visiting the Capitol building. I know that they don't like to say that they were visiting the Capitol building. You know, I don't condone any kind of violence, but people making their voices heard. Of course, then again, we don't condone violence in Portland or Minnesota or Seattle. Yes, we do. We condone it everywhere. There are some places that just don't condone, that they don't have any of those same commentaries. Maxine Waters, you lunatic. Right? So we watch all these things for you. What else is going on in the world? John Kerry says he didn't give Israeli secrets to Iran. Well, when a politician is coming out and having to defend themselves, guess what is generally the case? Yeah, you can usually make a good case for them being guilty. Down the road, sometime, someplace, my opinion only, we will see that John Kerry will come out and that, you know, he was doing nefarious stuff, but we'll watch. Again, I shared with you, Washington Post shuts down presidential fact-checking database after 100 days. I guess it was overloaded. Maybe that was the problem, is there's too much work for it, too many Pinocchios for President Biden in the first 100 days, even though we know he doesn't do a whole heck of a lot on any given day. We watch his schedule, and it's amazing. So nothing was on the schedule yesterday. Nothing. Can you imagine? I guess he's getting ready for his big speech tomorrow night. So nothing on the schedule. That's going beyond what Millard Fillmore and Chester Arthur did. They did nothing most of the time. Now we've got President Biden doing the same thing. But you know something? If we get rid of his pen and he did nothing for the rest of his 3.5 years and got rid of the executive orders, we'd probably be much better off than where we are right now with President Biden and his idea and methods of destroying the U.S. economy. And I just share that with you. That's what he's doing. You look at every single economist, even those from the Bill Clinton days, saying, you know, something, now is not the time to be raising taxes. Now, think about this. You're not going to hear this anywhere else but on Ron Siegel Radio. How about this one? Due to the Trump tax cuts, the number's right around $1.5 trillion repatriated by corporate taxes. Right, reducing the corporate tax, companies repatriated $1.5 trillion. Hello, Apple with about $200 billion, right? Microsoft, some of the others, right? $1.5 trillion. Now they paid tax on that money, bringing it back into the United States. So when you look at what happened with that, what does that do for all of us? Well, you bring that money back into the United States, they tax it, that helps bring in more revenue. Have you ever thought about this? Right? If your boss says to you, I'm going to give you an extra $100 every day that you get over X amount of work done. Are you going to work that much harder to try and get that $100? Now, if your boss says, I am going to fine you $100 a day if you get that same amount X above and beyond work done, are you going to work that much harder so you get fined? Well, that's the idea of taxes. Nobody wants to just explain it in a real simple man's way, but very, very simple. When we go and we tax something, we get less of it. When you reduce the tax, you get more of it. Why is it that when you get a first-time home buyer's tax credit, more people go out and buy a house? If you were to go and say, for every first-time home buyer, we're going to give you an extra tax, do you think people are going to go out and buy more houses to get that extra tax? No, they don't want to. Unbelievable. But politicians, they don't understand it. Let's raise the taxes and think that we're going to get more money coming into the government. Well, President Obama was one of the first that was really honest about it. He didn't care about getting more money into the government. He just wanted to take money away from rich people and give it to somebody else, whoever he chose. Overnight ratings in for the Oscars. Did you watch them? I doubt it. Did anybody?
You know better than that.
Well, lowest ratings, fewer than 10 million people tuned into the Academy Awards on ABC, all-time low for the show. And just think about that. Last year, they had about 20 million people during a pandemic. This year, less than 10 million people. Are we getting tired of all of the politics in entertainment? Well, talk to TNT and ABC. Their basketball ratings are down by about 40%. 40%. Talk to ESPN. Their ratings are about down on basketball by about 20%. So do you think people are tired of all the politics in these things? Do you think these people will ever learn? I doubt it. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, will the housing market maintain its momentum? We've got our featured home segment brought to you by myfavoritelender.net. And how about converting that traditional IRA into a Roth IRA during a divorce situation? All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. No longer on Twitter, but if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you tired of paying rent? Are you tired of paying someone else's mortgage? Do you know qualified folks can potentially purchase a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket? Ron Siegel can help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. If you're tired of paying someone else's mortgage, reach out to Ron today at ronismylender.com. That's ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Blue Water Credit Repair is the industry leader in fixing bad credit. Did you know a 40-point increase in your credit score can save you $40,000 on a home loan and $4,000 on a car loan? You deserve good credit and peace of mind. Take the first step today and go to bluewatercredit.com and register for a free consultation from one of their credit repair experts. That's bluewatercredit.com.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at ronismylender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. ronismylender.com.
Trimming of your retirement does not include losing your house. However, due to today's lower stock market, higher medical bills, and taxes, many retirees face this very problem. This is why it is necessary that you, as a baby boomer considering retirement within the next 10 years, understand reverse mortgages and what one could do for you or your parents. A reverse mortgage could make it possible for you or your parents to travel, buy a second home, or start a new business. For more information about reverse mortgages, just call our off-air number at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990, or visit realestateradio.com and click the free workshop button.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions, as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got all the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Dow Jones now down 11 points. NASDAQ down 27. The S&P 500 down 1. 10-year Treasury is up 2 basis points. And the mortgage-backed securities, they are down 6 basis points as we speak to you right now. But what is going on in the market? What's driving all of this data? It would be the Case-Shiller Home Price Index. That's part of it. Tracks the changes in the value of residential real estate across the U.S. was reported for the month of February. National Index covers all 9 U.S. Census divisions, reported a 12% annual gain in February, up from an 11.2% gain in January. That's Case-Shiller. Wow. Remember the other one that came out last year and said a negative 6.6? I think they missed it just by a little bit.
It is what it is.
But here's the issue. 12% gain is a big gain, maybe even too big a gain. So we got to watch out for that one. We don't want the numbers to get too overheated. But hey, if you're thinking about buying or selling, now might be the time. If you don't want to pay taxes on those buys and sells, give us a call at 800-306-1990. There may be some strategies to defer your taxes, maybe forever. But you need to talk to one of the professionals about that. FHFA, Federal Housing Finance Agency, released their house price index, measures home price appreciation on single-family homes with conforming loan limits. It increased by 0.9% in February, in line with expectations, and increased by 0.1% year over year from the previous report of 12.1% to 12.2%. Generally, the FHFA has a higher number than the Case-Shiller. This time they're about the same. So watch out for those because, again, both markets are showing extremely hot. Consumer Confidence Index measures consumer attitudes based on the economy for the month of July. Reported at 121.7, which was higher than expectations of 112. Last month's report was revised lower from 109.7 to 109. We're going to have to find out because that says July, and I don't think that's correct. But we're going to check the report on that one and see where the numbers really are. Let's see what else we've got going on today. Phoenix, Seattle, San Diego reported the highest annual gains among the 20 cities in that Case-Shiller appreciation. Phoenix up 17.4%, followed by San Diego 17%, Seattle 15.4%. Levels of appreciation are higher than we'd like to see. I've told you it's not sustainable. They're extremely meaningful for wealth creation. A person buying a $300,000 home last year, that's a median number, national number. Here in California, the numbers are probably a bit higher. Gained $36,000 in appreciation. That is massive. So today we're going to see the 7-year Treasury notes, see what happens there. When that came out on the 25th of February, we saw a big move in mortgage-backed security prices. We don't like that. And the Fed began their two-day meeting today with their statement and press conference starting tomorrow about 11 o'clock here on the West Coast. They released their Fed survey, which sees the beginning to taper. CNBC, I should say, released their Fed survey. And they're seeing that they're claiming, or they believe, that we're going to begin to taper, the Fed will, maybe in January of 2022, maybe rate hikes December of 2022. I'm not so sure about that, but I'm just telling you what we're seeing. That's coming out of CNBC. So if you believe CNBC, and they've got a decent business channel, although one of our favorites did leave CNBC, went to Fox Business, Maria Bartiromo. And it's fascinating because she's going to go to the border, even though the vice president of the United States cannot figure out how to get there. All she has to do is say, I want to go to the border, and I think that the Air Force will take care of getting her there because she gets on that one of the Air Force planes, right? She's going to get on Air Force 2, and they would take her right over there. So it's not like she's going to get lost, I hope. Moving right along. Let's take a look. Let's see. Divorce mortgage planning, holistic approach to the process of evaluating mortgage options. Let's take a look at this one. What we want to do is integrate the mortgage selected into the overall long and short-term financial and investment goals to help minimize taxes, minimize interest expense, and maximize cash flow. So we're looking at a traditional IRA, and we're just going to use a hypothetical here. Sam's retaining the marital home valued at $500,000. Mary is awarded Sam's traditional IRA valued at $500,000. While the equivalent exchange of marital assets may seem fair and equitable on paper, maybe not. The marital home comes with the opportunity of future appreciation, while the traditional IRA not only comes with appreciation, but the possibility of a future tax liability when Mary starts withdrawing from the IRA upon retirement. A traditional IRA is comprised of pre-tax dollars and taxed at the current tax rate upon withdrawal. A Roth IRA offers tax-free growth on earnings and tax-free withdrawals in retirement. Depending on Sam and Mary's personal strategies, a Roth IRA conversion may be a win-win situation, especially if their predicted tax rate will be higher in the future. So convert the traditional IRA into a Roth IRA. I'm not saying you should do that. I'm just saying it's a strategy to consider. If Mary's current tax rate is 25%, the cost to convert the traditional IRA would be on that $500,000, $125,000. If Mary's predicted tax rate is expected to increase to 30%, for example, her future tax liability when withdrawing funds during retirement would total $150,000. Let's assume that Sam recognizes the unfair tax burden this will place on Mary in the future and is willing to help Mary pay the conversion cost of $125,000. In order to do so, Sam will need to come up with the funds to cover the conversion cost. One way would be to withdraw $125,000 from an investment account, earning a 6% annual return. This, however, would cost Sam $7,500 annually to do so. That's the opportunity cost because he'd be losing the $7,500 return annually in his investment account. Another method would be to utilize a mortgage to pay the conversion cost of $125,000. Assuming a mortgage with a 4% interest rate, that's higher than most right now, but we know that. Over a 30-year period, the annual interest paid is $5,000, thus creating an annual benefit of $2,500 by using a mortgage to cover the conversion cost. Divorcing clients considering a Roth IRA conversion should speak with their attorney and financial advisor to determine if a conversion is a good move for their tax planning strategies. As a divorce mortgage planning person, we are constantly looking to get you this kind of information so you can make more informed decisions regarding the home equity solutions. And it's also to help the professional divorce team identify any potential conflicts between the divorce settlement and the home equity solutions, as well as real property issues. And that's why we constantly say, hey, get us involved in those divorce situations early on. Not going to cost you anything. We don't charge a nickel for this guidance. We just want to make sure that you have the right guidance so that your team, the divorce team, can get you the best information. How do you make a great decision if you don't have great information. That's one of the reasons that we're constantly saying, hey, you know something? Get us involved. Give us a call, 800-306-1990. We're more than happy to give you whatever guidance we can provide so that you can make the best decision, the most equitable decision. We're not looking to pick sides on it because we have no horse in the race. But what we do want to do is just make sure that everybody's making the best possible decision while you're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your current real estate and financial needs. Well, also, when we come back, will the housing market maintain its momentum? We'll chat about it. And we've got that featured home for you, brought to you by myfavoritelender.net. All that and more, you can reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. No longer on Twitter, but if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you paying rent because you think you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you renting because you don't believe that you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? The Siegel lending team at RonIsMyLender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel lending team today at RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com, licensed under NMLS 217037. RonIsMyLender.com.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed rate below 3.5% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $300,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,300 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed to NMLS ID 217037, Equal Housing Lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Are you tired of paying rent? Are you tired of paying someone else's mortgage? Do you know qualified folks can potentially purchase a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket? Ron Siegel can help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. If you're tired of paying someone else's mortgage, reach out to Ron today at RonIsMyLender.com. That's RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990, the real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text SLT Home Digest to 79564. Find your dream home before someone else does. SLT Home Digest tells you exactly what the county recorder knows about your property, what the market believes about your property, and oh, by the way, compliments of Ron Siegel Radio. So let's take a look at what we've got today for you in our real-time real estate segment. Yeah, we're talking about some home prices. Will the housing market maintain its momentum? Last week's existing home sales report from the National Association of Realtors, NAR, shows sales have dropped by 3.7% compared to the month before. This is the second consecutive month that sales have slumped. Some see this as evidence that the red-hot real estate market may be cooling. However, there could also be a simple explanation as to why existing home sales have slowed. There are not enough homes to buy. There are currently 410,000 fewer single-family homes available for sale than there were at this time last year. Lawrence Yoon, chief economist at the National Association of Realtors, explains in the report, quote, the sales for March would have been measurably higher had there been more inventory. Days on market are swift, multiple offers are prevalent, and buyer confidence is rising, unquote. Yoon's insight was supported the next day when the Census Bureau released its monthly new residential sales report. It shows that newly constructed home sales are up 20.7% over the previous month. The buyer demand remains strong, with more of the adult population becoming vaccinated and job creation data showing encouraging signs. Existing home inventory is expected to grow in the coming months. What will this mean for home sales going forward? Well, we're going to put a chart up on the screen right now, as I like to do. If you're watching us, Ron Siegel Radio. Oh, actually, it's already up there. Guys are quick for me today. RonSiegelRadio.tv, or if you're watching us on the ABC News and Talk AM 1490 news feed or video feed, you're seeing this chart. Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and the Mortgage Bankers Association have all forecasted that total home sales, existing homes, and new construction will continue their momentum both this year and next. So the projections, strong home sales forecasted for this year and 2020. You can see that on the chart. Bottom line, living through a pandemic has caused many to reevaluate the importance of a home and the value of home ownership. The residential real estate market will benefit from both as we move forward. And as I've shared with you before, I hear a lot of people saying, well, I just bought a house a year ago or 2 years ago, and I can't move for another year or so. Well, that's because you haven't talked to your friends at Ron Siegel Radio, right? Todd Halterman's been on with us many, many times, and we've discussed the idea of certain types of trusts that allow you to move and not to have that initial tax gains or tax consequences. So think about some of these things. If you're not familiar with them, give me a call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. I'd be happy to put you in touch with Todd or any of the team to show you exactly how these things work, see if they make sense for you and for your family. I don't know if they will. I'm just telling you that the opportunities are there, and there are a lot of people that have been using these trusts. They've been around for 90 plus years. And maybe you like to pay high taxes. If that's your gig, who am I to tell you no, that you shouldn't pay high taxes? Government likes it. They like to have your money. They like to do what they want with your money. Or you like to just stay put and not take advantage of the market that we're in right now. That is your choice. That is the real-time real estate segment. Your Credit Matters segment brought to you by our friends at Blue Water Credit. Quick guide to saving versus investing. Thanks to the lockdowns brought on by the coronavirus pandemic, Americans haven't been able to keep up with typical spending on travel or restaurant dining. Many people find themselves with more discretionary income than usual. If you're in a situation where you have a few extra $100 or $1,000 and you're wondering what to do with it, saving and investing are two excellent options. When should you save is the first question. Everyone can benefit from saving money regardless of other financial goals, whether it's for an emergency fund, a down payment on a home, or a major upcoming expense. You can't go wrong with stashing money in a savings account. Saving is better for short-term goals where you're pretty sure you'll need to access the money in the near future. While saving is typically safer compared to investing, Interest rates on savings accounts tend to be fairly low, which means your money won't grow very quickly. And since inflation typically outpaces savings account interest rates, the purchasing power of your savings goes down over time, but the dollar amount of your savings remains the same, provided you're not making withdrawals. A high-yield savings account or money market account is a good place to stash your savings because both types of accounts carry less risk than investing. Look for an account with low or no monthly fees, a minimum required amount that you can comfortably meet, and a higher interest rate or APY. If you don't mind having your money locked away for a period of time, you can even purchase a certificate of deposit, a CD, for slightly better returns. When's the best time to start investing? Once you've reached your short-term savings goal. For example, you have a fully funded emergency fund. You can look at maximizing your earnings through investing. Investing involves putting money into assets like stocks, bonds, mutual funds, ETFs, and real estate. These assets have a potential for higher returns than savings, but can also carry the risk of decreasing in value depending on the market and other factors. Because of the potentially higher returns, you can reach your financial goals faster and by contributing less money than you would with just a savings account. Investing is ideal for reaching your long-term financial goals like retirement and wealth building. A longer time horizon means you can withstand a little more risk than if you needed to access your funds within the next few years because you have more time to wait for the market to recover from any turndowns. If you participate in your employer's 401k, you're already investing. Contributing the amount needed to get your full employer match allows you to maximize your company benefits, essentially getting free money. Other investment options include working with a financial advisor, guiding your own investments through online firms like TD Ameritrade, Vanguard, Fidelity, Schwab. I like Tastyworks, whatever you choose. What about debt? Well, you can invest while paying off debt, but keep in mind that your short-term returns may be offset by high interest rates you're paying on debt. When it comes to debt, compound interest works against you because you continue to pay interest on your balance month after month until the balance is paid off. Next, we're going to go into investing while paying off debt. What is better for you when it comes to saving money and investing? You do not have to choose one or the other. Depending upon your short and long-term financial goals, you can split your discretionary income between the two, putting some towards savings and the rest toward investing. It's okay if you're not quite ready to save more money or dip into investing. Just save the information until you've taken care of some of the more immediate financial concerns and then revisit the topic. Or give us a call at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. We are always available to give you some guidance, put you in touch with the right people, help you out. That's the Your Credit Matters segment, again brought to you by Blue Water Credit. Our friends Jeff Sipes and his team do a great job to help the listeners and families of Ron Siegel Radio. When we come back, we got the featured home. We're going to talk about it, brought to you by myfavoritelender.net. We're going to also chat a little bit about, I don't know, we'll figure it out. Maybe we'll get some questions in today that we haven't got in for a while. You can reach me anytime off air, number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter at Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the numero 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Are you tired of paying rent? Are you tired of paying someone else's mortgage? Do you know qualified folks can potentially purchase a $500,000 home for less than $5,000 out of pocket? Ron Siegel can help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. If you're tired of paying someone else's mortgage, reach out to Ron today at ronismylender.com. That's ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Do you have a goal of mortgage-free home ownership? What if your home was valued at $500,000? Are you aware that a free and clear home could be costing you $2,500 every month, $30,000 per year? The mortgage planners at the Siegel Lending Team would like to show you how you can own your home, generate tax-free income, and accumulate family wealth. You simply need to call Ron Siegel at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. By sending the team a copy of your most recent mortgage statement, the team will send you a no-obligation mortgage adoption plan. You be the judge if it's right for your family. Again, all you have to do is send the team a copy of your mortgage statement by email to map@ronsiegelradio.com or call today Ron Siegel, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporation and MLS 217037 and decal BRE number 018694452.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at ronismylender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. ronismylender.com.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions, as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The featured home segment today being brought to you by myfavouritelender.net. Myfavouritelender.net. Who's got the featured home? We better find that thing. It should be coming up here any second so we can chat a little bit about our featured home. And I think I see it coming pretty quickly. I think it's a property that is being presented by our friend Krista Lombardi. Yeah, Krista's got this one. 4653 Gessner, San Diego. That's 92117. 3-bedroom, 2 full and a half a bathroom. Lovely, breezy, secluded home tucked away in the midst of nature on a cul-de-sac in the cute little Claremont neighborhood. Minutes to everything you could ever need, including the freeway and public transportation, but silent and secluded. If you're not familiar with the location and floor plan, got to see it. Live in city, but have the opportunity to enjoy the birds, canyons, and serenity. Hey, nice. Look at that one. If you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv or if on any of the social channels, you're able to see this right here, right now. The price is right. If the price is right, I don't know. Kendra does. Krista does. $899,000. Let's look at some financing options for this. Let's see, 5% down. We're looking at $39.55 a month. If we do 20% down, we're looking at $3,081 a month. 25% down, we're looking at $27.53 a month. That's principal and interest. If you have to add insurance, taxes, it could be there. But for those of you keeping score, we do want to make sure that you get the right information. APR is 4.16, 3.173, and 2.958, and MLS 217037. Got to get all that information in there. For all of the technical data, you can check the property out. It's all got all the compliance information is right there on our website. But again, it's the featured home brought to you by myfavouritelender.net. Krista Lombardi is the agent for this one. If you want to meet Krista or to get more information about this property, call us 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. So let's take a look. We've got some time today. So I wanted to go through and give you, every once in a while, we actually get some time. And we talk a little bit about various topics. Sometimes we even get into explanations. So there's a couple of things that we're hearing about right now that are two different programs that may be of interest to you. One is the FHA Streamline loan. So if you got an FHA loan 6 to 12 months ago, you may be paying too much interest on that loan. Well, FHA has a very simple process where you can actually just send a copy of a mortgage statement in. Give us a call at 800-306-1990. You can text it to us or email it. Take a look at it, see if it makes sense to do what they call a Streamline refinance. And all it really does is takes your exact loan and just lowers the interest rate, lowers the payment. Now, the strategy is, and that's why you want to make sure you get a total cost analysis to go with it, is how much of a benefit will you get by continuing to make the exact same payment with a lower interest rate, unless you like sending your money to the bank so that they make more money. I am not a fan of that. I'd rather see you keep that money in your bank account or apply it to the principal of your new loan. So you could take that principal as a principal reduction every month, nothing fancy to doing it. And you might take that 30-year loan that might pay off in 25, 26, 27 years, maybe less, depending upon how much money you're saving every month. The other part is, if you remember, I shared with you earlier in the broadcast that property values have appreciated significantly over the last year. Well, if you've got a property anywhere in the sound of my voice, it probably did appreciate. Maybe you can convert that FHA loan into a conventional loan and maybe reduce or get rid of the mortgage insurance. Again, those are strategies. Those are home equity solutions. That's what we provide to you at Ron Siegel Radio. That's what the team does for you every day. Now, the veterans, we've got the same options there for you, except you don't have to deal with mortgage insurance. There's no mortgage insurance on the VA loans, but they have something called an IRL, an interest rate reduction loan, IRRL. And that allows you also to lower your interest rate on the same program that you have now and save money. Again, less money going to the lender, less interest charged to you. If you make the exact same payment, you get your home paid off significantly quicker. And we like the idea of taking that strategy. Maybe you even want to use some of the equity that you've accumulated and buy down the interest rate. Those are strategies. Will it work? Does it make sense for you? I don't know. Anybody that says it does or does not without doing some analysis work, it's called malpractice, in my opinion. Right? So we want to take a look at it, see what makes sense for you. How long are you going to be in the property? How long what do you need the money for? What are you doing? Are you? There's so many different options here that you can look at and say, you know something, this is what makes sense for my family right here, right now, and move forward that way. So just be careful or be cognizant of that. Let's see what else we have here to chat with you about. The rehab loan, the 203K. Two different types of rehab loans there if you're trying to rehab your property to fix it up, or if you're buying a property that needs some love. Right, so there are options there. So what are the options that we're looking at? Well, you've got a cosmetic rehab that's under $35,000, and you've got the full rehab, which can take you all the way up to the county lending limit. So you basically have to look and say, what's the property going to be worth after we do the rehabilitation? What am I paying for the property? Is there a delta there, spread between what it's going to be worth and what you're paying for it? You might be able to get some of that to do major reconstruction on the property, and that's a good sign for you as well. So just contemplate that one and see if that makes sense for you, for your family. We never know. If it does, you got to do the analysis work. It's not just a matter of getting online and saying, I want this, boom. That's why I tell you, the online services, they have a benefit, not for you, but they have a benefit, and you just have to check them out. Look into some of the terms that I get in this all the time with people, so I like to share some of these with you every once in a while. There's a lot of confusion between escrow and escrows. So what is an escrow? Escrow is basically an independent third party that's handling a transaction for you, right? So if you're buying a house in California, at least for the most part, we use escrow. It's an escrow company. And they're basically, I think of them as a referee. They don't wear stripes most of the time, but they're the referee. And they just take a look and they say, okay, here's what the contract says. And they follow through to make sure that all parts of the contract are adhered to by all parties. If something is not being adhered to, then it needs to either have the contract changed or get back in line. Now, what is the term escrow account or also impound account? Those are ones that comes up all the time and kind of confuses people. So in certain kinds of loans, you need to have an impound account. That's where you're making a payment that's going to be accumulated and held for time. So, for instance, the FHA loan requires a impound account for taxes and for insurance. You may decide, I just want to have an impound account for taxes and insurance, right? So you set that up, you make those payments, and it's just a proration. So say you've got a $6,000 a year tax bill. Well, the impound account requires, okay, I've got to pay $500 a month into the impound account, so there's enough money when those tax bills come due twice a year. Similarly, let's say you've got a $600 a month insurance bill. Well, $50 a month got to go into the impound account so that when the insurance bill comes due. So impound account and an escrow account for your payments is one and the same, but there is confusion between the escrow account and an escrow company who's basically that referee that I spoke to you about. Prepaid expenses versus loan costs. I hear this one all the time as well. Wow, that's an expensive loan. Is that right, Ron? And I say, well, let's take a look and see. Just send me a copy of your loan estimate or your closing disclosure, and we'll talk about it. So here's the questions. Here's what comes up. So your prepaids, that's interest and prepaid insurance, prepaid taxes. I just talked about those things. Sometimes you pay those in advance so that there's enough money when those bills come due to cover the bill. Interest is always done. There's what they call interim interest. So interim interest is basically interest that's being charged to cover a time period between payments. So there's no free lunch. When you hear somebody say, well, you're not going to make any payments until, so right now we're at the end of April. Your first payment on loans that close in April is due June 1st. So I got to skip my May payment. No, you didn't. No free lunch. What happens is there's interim interest. You have to pay from the day you close your loan till the first of the month. So if it were to close today, you're going to pay prepaid interest for the remaining 3 days of the month. And your departing company, the company that's getting paid off, as part of the payment, as part of the payoff, escrow is going to pay them for the 27 days that you used the money between payments, because mortgage interest is paid in arrears. It's after you use it, then you get charged for it. So you already used those 27 days of interest, of payments, so you got to pay for it now. That's what that means. So no free lunch there. But now the costs: title, escrow, appraisal, lender's fees, government recording fees, wire fees. Those are the costs of the loan. So that's a big difference between what the costs are and what the prepaid expenses are. Prepaid expenses generally, again, are three things: interim interest, taxes, and insurance. Those are generally going to be the items that are going to be considered there. Interest and APR, those are a biggie. So the interest rate is what you're paying every month. APR is a government-mandated formula that's going to basically take the payment that you make, and you've got to reduce, and the loan amount. So it's the loan amount less loan costs and interim interest, and you just solve for payment. So it's going to give you generally a number that's higher than the interest. Now, I'm not a big fan of of the APR, but we have to do it by legal reasons. Why? Well, because if one company is doing interim interest based on the beginning of the month and another is doing it on the end of the month, it's going to skew the numbers, but did it change anything really? No. So just be aware of that. And as always, I ask you, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to John and Sean for engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio. Tides that I tried to swim against.